Spring is supposed to be about blossoms and new beginnings, but that ain't what today feels like. It's April, I'm 10 years old, and Mom says there's something important she wants to share. Feel right here, baby, she says as she points to her breast. It's about the size of a golf ball. And down here, this hard part of my belly, as she guides my hand again, that's my liver. It's covered with cancer. Suck it up, mama. You'll be okay. 'Cause that's all I know. Fall down and get back up. We little boys, we don't cry. That's for babies and little girls, and weaklings. How am I to imagine anything different? I know basketball, Batman, BMX, backflips, broken bones, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. I know bruises and blood, and that whenever I cry, I better not let my friends see, or else I'll hear about that at the bitter end of their jokes until someone else has a meltdown, and our scopes on these guns that shoot shots to score laughter set sights on the next poor little victims of emotion. I'm angry at the life we have to live. It's already dark and cold in my heart. There's no way I can possibly imagine carrying this for the rest of my days. Hell, I've barely learned how to spell my middle name. Fitzgerald is no simple task for a fourth grader. My mom is still here, but she's not present. I feel her drifting, seeing visions of a reality that I cannot fathom. She's dying. I see her surrender, in tears, my mother crying out, I want my mom. Grandma, she takes care of me when Mom goes to work. Grandma is Catholic, very Catholic. Many a Sunday I kneel when we are to stand and stand when we are to kneel for no other reason than the joy of breaking rules that make no sense to me. You're going to hell, she screams. You little heathen. Your mother should have gotten you baptized. Even in her fury, I know Grandma loves me. Every single day after school, she takes me to a place with a goal and a rock so I can hoop. Every night, she lets me watch Nickelodeon or the Bulls winning another championship way past my bedtime. Every morning, she teaches me magic. You see, Grandma is certain that I have a gift. She knows it and feels it's her mission to make me believe. She has me watch shows about miracles. She tells me the mystical ways of Jesus. She prays to God and embodies those who have come before us. She embodies faith. Every morning she grabs a deck of cards. She makes me start guessing what's at the top of the pile, one at a time, until all 52 cards have been flipped. At first, I play along to appease old Grandma, but after I start guessing those cards right, I sure enough believe in a force greater than our eyes can see. My mom and Grandma both die in the same year. I'm 11. Cancer is champion this season. First, it defeats Grandma. 3 months later, Mom takes the L. What do I have to do to be okay? To be the tough guy who can handle it? My elders, loved ones, survivors, they don't have a playbook. We don't have tradition. Our culture has somehow misplaced these rites of passage. I'm a child. How am I expected to hold this? Well, I have basketball. Between these lines, especially during crunch time, coach says that that's when you see what a man is made of. You gotta fight. Leave it all out on the court. Blood, sweat, and tears. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Maybe I won't ever have to look at the death that surrounds me if I can become a killer between these lines. If I can only murder enough on the hardwood that I could even become rich, famous, liberated, could travel the world far and wide, so far from this court where cancer is the killer. At 11, 3 months after Mom passes, I meet my father for the first time, a man who I have only known in photographs. At 12, Family court makes it official that I now live with a man whom I just met, a man who tells me, toughen up, men don't cry. Sometimes my unshed tears erupt as rage that burns like lava throughout this unfamiliar home in North Carolina. My teenage wrath is no match for the strength of a grown man, a man strong enough to rip the clothes straight from my body, but too weak to give a hug and shed a tear. I can imagine the pain my father must have felt. Heartbroken from my disrespect, I can imagine he is overwhelmed at the gargantuan task of raising a boy to a man. I can imagine he too wondered how to handle it all, but I don't see his vulnerability. I only know he shows up after death. I know my father is trying his best. I know that he too is a victim of violence, spawned from the absence of a wisdom our culture has squandered. I know we were disillusioned by separation without any clue of how to find connection. My father doesn't know magic. My father doesn't know faith, nature, tenderness. He knows dominance and humiliation. I see this in our family, I see it at school, I see it in the streets, and I imagine there is a history of this dominance, of this humiliation from their fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers, in the fields reaching all the way back to Massa, sitting comfortably on the porch of the big house. Without faith, there is no hope. No dreams of something better, no support from the ethers or the heavens or the ancestors or the earth. Without faith, I learned the way of protecting myself is to go out swinging, knocking people out, obtaining the silence and solitude I need for safety. Sometimes I think Grandma knew even more about magic than she let on. Maybe she understood that there is a source waiting to be seen, felt, embodied, that can help me mourn, process grief, and can hold my tears. For this, there's no need to be tough. Dominance doesn't win the game here. There is a thread, this journey, life, the divine, my true nature, that was present when Mama showed me she was sick, and Grandma showed me faith, and death showed me pain. And Charlotte caught me as I fell, and my father showed me what to heal while keeping the sun hot and the water wet. This thread is still weaving today as I hold my children, weaving through these experiences, ready at each and every moment to hold me as I surrender, as I return home, as I emerge. Today, I'm 35 years old with 5-year-old triplets. I can't bring up 3 baby boys in silence and isolation, embodying the same violence that I've used clawing my way through to survival. Maybe the magic is that I can transform, that I can be forgiven. Maybe my sons will see me shed a tear. Maybe I can soften. Maybe optimism lives here. Maybe I can ask for help. Maybe it's not too late. Maybe today can be the day that I believe.